What's up, guys, and welcome to this. This is your SOS WrestleTalk's WWE Royal Rumble 2024 preview and predictions video. I'm your host from LK from the SOS WrestleTalk. Looking forward to bringing this one. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment on your thoughts, previews, and opinions heading into this Saturday night's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I'm recording this one on a Thursday. It's when it's getting uploaded on YouTube and all of the audio platforms that are available, so go check them out if you haven't done so already, if that's your viewing preference. But this is WrestleMania season, recording this on a Thursday, so if matches get announced on Friday night and you're watching this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon just before the show, I apologise, I am not covering them because I don't know they exist. But looking forward to this one, actually, believe it or not. Watched a heck of a lot of wrestling this week. Go check out my New Japan New Beginning in Nagoya show, New Japan Road to New Beginning show review, TNA review, Monday Night Raw review, W News on Netflix. Loads of stuff going on the channel, so make sure you hit the like button and smash the subscribe button, hit the notification button to know when each and every time we upload a video. Royal Rumble though. As of right now, there is 4 matches announced for this show. Okay, which is not unnormal, depending on the length of the show. But we've got no women's World Championship match. We've got no women's WWE Championship match. Obviously, there is still time with Friday coming up and Saturday on the show itself they could announce. But as of this, there's just 4 matches on the card. So we'll jump in. We'll do Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens first, just to get that one out the way. Everyone here knows, thinks and assumes we're going to get LA Knight versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. And this will be good for Owens because he's getting on in the stage, getting in the ring with someone who is going to generate a lot of publicity, a lot of good buzz. Whenever Logan Paul's in a WWE ring, whether you like it or not, he does generate a lot of buzz, a lot of social media traffic, a lot of TikTok traffic, a lot of Twitter traffic, Instagram traffic, and that's what sometimes, unfortunately, business is good for. You may not be a big fan of his wrestling ability, his wrestling skills, but I think he's an alright wrestler. You know, it helps he's being trained by some of the absolute best wrestlers of all time in Shawn Michaels. That does benefit you and help you a lot along the way, but it's good for the business itself. And Owens gets to be in there, so when all these social media trends are going, remember last year Ricochet doing the springboard crossbody colliding in the middle of the ring with Logan Paul, that I think it was 34 billion views or something across all social media platforms. Absolutely ridiculous. So if they can do a spot similar to that, we'll be laughing. But prediction here, Logan Paul, safe prediction. I don't see a way around how Logan Paul doesn't win. Because obviously we want to build up to LA Knight. Obviously Owens winning and taking the US title would be good. Maybe he could feud with someone heading into WrestleMania, maybe a Santos Escobar, who last time I was watching SmackDown a while back, he was going rampant and took out Mysterio. I apologies again how I was inactive for quite some time, a couple of years. I promise you I've been watching WWE pay-per-views, and this week's Raw was the first time I've really delved back into it. Unfortunately, Friday night SmackDown I will not be able to cover this week, simply because I'm out. I'm not going to review that one. I do apologise. I'm letting you know in advance, but I won't be watching that one. But yeah, I'm going Logan Paul, and then we have the Fatal 4-Way match for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, who's currently in the middle of a record World Championship run, over 1,400 days, which is absolutely incredible for modern era 21st century pro wrestling to be able to have a title reign that long and be as good as it has been. I can understand people, he doesn't defend the belt much, but nor did Brock Lesnar. And when he is there, when he is on TV, it's always special. It always means something. It gives it that big fight feel, you know, especially now having the World Heavyweight Championship Monday Night Raw. Because the pay-per-views are combined, joint Raw and SmackDown, you still get a World Championship match because it'll come from Monday Night Raw. And they've also done a better job of then elevating the IC title because you haven't gone for defend the title, and it's putting more pressure on the writers to come up with stories like War Games. That was a really good main event. Obviously Punk coming out helped, but it was well built up. So from that sense, I'm all for it. Do I think Reigns is going to retain here? Yes. Would I be annoyed if he lost? No. And believe it or not, if you guys know and have been following me wherever I've been for the last few years, the last 10 years, you know, as I'm going to say is what JBL said, if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get Randy Orton, and that is so true. I absolutely adore Randy Orton as a wrestler. I think he's absolutely incredible. One of my all-time favourites, always has been, always will be. He's going in there with AJ Styles. Another absolute legend. And Dixie Carter put out a tweet this afternoon, or this morning, depending on where your kind of time zone is, basically saying congrats to AJ, thank you for everything you did for TNA, you helped it become the success it became. And it was just like, you know what, it's actually incredible that AJ Styles has wrestled more matches in a WWE ring than a TNA ring. Obviously it helps because TNA didn't really do house shows. Obviously they did, I'm not saying they didn't, but they didn't do them as frequently, as regularly as WWE's house shows. But that's absolutely incredible. You know, he's been there for 8 years now. That 2016 debut was absolutely out of this world. The amount of times that that's been watched on YouTube by myself or on the WWE network by myself is, back in the day, was something special. I remember coming back and covering that video. I think it was on the Coco Sports channel. Go check out Dave Coco's channel if you haven't already. But it was absolutely crazy when AJ came. Because he had a good run with New Japan in the Bullet Club after leaving TNA. But as a whole, I really... And then LA Knight as well, this up-and-comer. I still think they made the wrong decision in Damian Priest in the O2 Arena in London at Money in the Bank. I still think they should have had LA Knight win the briefcase, because what LA Knight could be heading into this match with Logan Paul, win the US title, and also have the briefcase. And I think the story, what they're going to tell with Damian Priest, and this is my prediction, alright, because this has never been done before. If you've noticed the last month or so, Priest keeps trying to cash in, and he keeps getting basically fucked over, screwed over. He's trying to cash in, and no one's allowing him to. This is my prediction. Hear me out. You heard it here first. Damian Priest is going to be the first wrestler to not cash in simply because people prevent him from doing so. That's my Damian Priest Money in the Bank prediction. But I'll probably be wrong. But as a story, you have 1 year to cash this in, and he keeps getting screwed over. Imagine, you're talking post WrestleMania now. We're talking Backlash, not Judgment Day. I wish. We're talking Backlash, and he's trying to cash in every chance, and he can't, and he knows. And there's a time, and every day on the social media they're saying 25 days left for Damian Priest to cash in, and then we actually get to Money in the Bank, and he just, it's not that he failed to cash in, it's just every time he tried to, he kept being fucked over, kept getting screwed over. And then you can have kind of Priest go on this absolute rampage and say fuck the Judgment Day, that he can turn massive heel or turn babyface, because obviously Judgment Day's a heel, but attack Judgment Day and go on an absolute massive random rampage. And then maybe you could put him as a challenger. You could be like, look, I had this Money in the Bank. We've now elevated him because of this story. And then we're talking Royal Rumble next year. We've got a potential threat because he's been taking everyone out. He's been taking out Punk. He's been taking out Cody. He's been taking out Nakamura. He's been taking out McIntyre, which he did on Monday. Well, he didn't actually, lost on Raw. So that's my prediction for Damian Priest and his Money in the Bank cash. And I apologise, I go off on tangents. That's what I do here. That's what I do. I go from talking about one thing and I go to the other, and I apologise. I know a lot of people like structured shows, and I try my best to have some form of format, but when my brain goes, I just talk. When I do my reviews, I have my notes that I write when I'm watching the show. Simply high spots I want to remember, a point that I want to remember, but besides that, I just like going with the flow. I find that more enjoyable for myself, and then when I enjoy the podcast, I do more podcasts, and I think that's an important thing. If any of you guys are looking to, either you do it or you're looking to do it, is to, if you enjoy it, and there's not a better feeling than when you get with the groove and you get that feeling of this is a really good show. I got that feeling on Sunday with my New Beginning in Nagoya show that went 40 minutes. 40 minutes just solo, just talking about Okada and him leaving and what that means. That felt great. Whereas, for example, this one, I don't feel like this has been the best show yet. I feel like there's still time to come, but I'm still enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. So it's Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight for the Universal Championship. Prediction wise, you gotta go with Reigns. Who does my heart want? That's what matters. Me as a fan, because a lot of people, they sit there when they do these reviews, and they're not rooting for anyone. They're like, right, no, I want this to be a great match, and I'm gonna review it and critique it and break it down move for move. I'm a fan. You're a fan. I'm gonna review it as a fan. When my favorite movie reviews are some where it's kind of fan written, not from some journalist or anything like that. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm watching here, and I will be over the moon if LA Knight wins. I'll be really over the moon if Randy Orton wins, and I'll be fucking stoked if AJ wins. And if Reigns wins, I won't be that bothered, because obviously I can understand and respect that Reigns heading into WrestleMania as champion is money. But do we do something crazy here? Do we have The Rock cost Reigns the World Championship? Because does Roman Reigns versus The Rock need to be for the belt to sell tickets? I don't think it does. Now, obviously, Rock being a member of the TKO board now, which is the WWE board, does that mean that he's going to be there, he's going to be back, but then is he going to be at the Rumble? Does Reigns win this and then Rock win Rumble? Or does Rock cost Reigns here? This is a good thing for once about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event this year. Lots of times on these preview and prediction shows are done from kind of 2015 all the way up to 2021. I'd come on here and I'd say, whatever channel I was on, and I'd say, this is who's going to win the Men's Rumble, this is who's going to win this, and this, and this. And you'd normally be right. Because everyone would kind of have that same vibe, that same opinion that you get when watching the show. But for this pay-per-view, you don't know who could actually win these matches. You don't know, because, you could have Orton win this match. He could pin LA Knight, he could pin AJ, he doesn't have to pin Reigns. The Rock could cost Roman Reigns the matchup and the championship, and then you could build towards The Rock and Reigns at WrestleMania. Or do they save that to next year's WrestleMania? How do they want to play it? Do they want to do what they did with Cena and The Rock, where they did it WrestleMania 28 then 29? Are they going to do 40 and 41? Possibility. You really, really don't know, and you don't know how long Reigns is going to keep going for. It's so many questions, and it's fucking magnificent as a fan to kind of sit here and try and jigsaw together kind of different situations that you'd feel as a fan you would like. I mean, because as a fan, obviously I think if out of the four, if it wasn't Reigns winning, I think you'd give it to Orton to be safe heading into WrestleMania. Because you could do Orton Punk, Orton Cody is a great story. I think, Orton Cody for the World Championship, Punk Rollins, Rock Reigns, that's incredible. Imagine Cody saying, I want to finish the story with the guy who was at the start of my story. I've sold myself. I've worked myself into a shoot. My prediction, I'm going to go with Randy Orton. I'm gonna go with that. I'm going to go Punk versus Rollins for the Worlds. But then I think that one's set in stone. But then if he gets injured, I think you can then add in kind of a Jey Uso into the mix if Rollins gets injured. There's so many possibilities. It's so fascinating. And this is just talking about the the Universal Championship. But I'm going to go with Orton. I think Orton Cody for the Universal Championship. And I think Punk Rollins for the World Championship. And we get Reigns Rock. Question is, what goes last? Now you're in a position at a 2-night WrestleMania where you have too many main events. Imagine being in that position. And obviously Punk Rollins, but then the story of Cody's been built well, and I think that would be great promos from Cody and Orton. I don't know what you'd do match-wise, where you'd put that, because Punk Rollins has realistically been built since November. That's a tough one. Maybe they could just do that. Maybe they could just do Orton, Cody, and Seth, CM Punk. Have Reigns away. The tickets are already sold, but again, that's a tough one. But yeah, my prediction is Reigns, who I want Orton, because I think Orton Cody at Mania would be magnificent. Let me go on to the men's Royal Rumble. Let's jump into that one, shall we? Let's have a quick look at who's the participants involved. So these are the 8 participants involved. Cody Rhodes, we talked about, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Kofi Kingston, and Damian Priest. Now, this one is so fucking tough. It really is. This is we've got 8 out of the 30. I mean, who mystery are we going to get? Is there anyone who, in the comments below, let me know who you would like to be as a mystery entry into the Rumble. MJF, I think he's still AEW contracted. That's my personal opinion. But he could come out. Obviously, Okada's contract is technically up. He's closing, doing his final New Japan match on February the 11th. In a New Beginning show against Hiroshi Tanahashi, which is the wrong decision. We will not go off on that tirade, because that's a different. If you're a W fan and not New Japan, you'll probably find that really fucking odd. Me going on a rant about it. I don't know who. I haven't seen much online about who's gonna debut, who's gonna be a surprise, because to be honest, the surprise is who's gonna win this fucker. It really is. Imagine we come down to the final, you got Cody and Punk in there, and they did a great job of teasing that on Monday on Raw. I really wouldn't be surprised if we got Cody and Punk as the final 2. It really wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't even mind if similar to 1995 when Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog, when they started off 1 and 2, and then they were the final 2 in. That would be, because imagine that, Punk and Cody. And then the commentators telling the story like these 2 are the 2 favourites, and they're starting this one. It's going to be really difficult for them to come to the final 2. And imagine the pictures and the pictures that you could get to promote when you've got Punk and Cody kind of having a stare down, knackered, not blood, sorry, sweat pouring down them, and in the background is the WrestleMania 40 logo. Like, that would be magnificent. I'm going to go. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to go with CM Punk to win this Rumble. I think Punk wins the Rumble, goes on to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Championship at WrestleMania, and Reigns versus Rock for the Championship at WrestleMania, and Cody's left to do nothing. Orton's getting great reactions, so you don't really want to turn him heel yet, but you could do Cody and Orton at WrestleMania still. If Cody won this, though, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would not be angry. But if Cody wins, then that means realistically Reigns and Rock is off the table. So maybe Reigns, Rock, Cody versus Orton. Again, I'm going with that. If Orton wins the Universal Championship, it depends when in the card it is. So, for example, imagine if the opener is the Men's Rumble and Cody wins it. It becomes back-to-back. The first person since Stone Cold Steve Austin back in 97 and 98. And then Orton wins, and then the realization of Orton and Cody. That for me is, if you've been a fan of WWE for a long time and you know the history, the legacy of Orton and Cody, that is a match that is warrant of a WrestleMania main event. And Punk Rollins as well. It all just comes down. It really does come down to who the fuck what are they going to do at Mania, and what a time. Just appreciate it. You're about to watch a pay-per-view in WWE where you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You know how very rare that is? It really is rare, but if this is the direction that WWE's going in, then I, for one, am going to be watching a lot more of it. Because that Raw was a good show. Obviously, they knew Netflix announcement was coming, so maybe that's why they put a bit more steam. And obviously, it was the go-home show for the Rumble. So, so again, there's going to be a bit more effort heading into this, their final chance to sell you on Peacock, to sell you on pay-per-view, however you watch it. So in that in mind, I'm gonna go with Cody. I'm gonna be out there, guys. I'm probably gonna be wrong. I think Punk's gonna win. I'm gonna go Cody to win the Rumble, Orton to win the World Championship by Rock costing Reigns. That's my overall prediction of the night. Then we got the Women's Rumble. We have Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile. They'll be involved in the women's one. Again, sorry, that was my cat making a meow. Apologies about that. I'm trying to record a damn professional podcast here, kid. Learn some respect, some manners. I'm joking, I don't really talk to that. It's because it's fucking nearly time for some snacks, poor guy. Fuck you now. Nia Jax. I just want to say this now. Nia Jax done a really great job of building this character up that she's got. WWE's done a great job, of building her up. She had a really good match. Well, not really good, sorry. My expectations were lower than the floor, and her and Becky Lynch had a somewhat good match. So then it kind of made me think, oh, actually, Nia Jax ain't that bad. And, they built her up, and the whole story heading in was, Lynch just wants to get hands on Jax. So do they both eliminate each other? Does Lynch throw herself at Jax so hard to get her over that she eliminates herself in the process? They then brawl. Bam, you got a WrestleMania match there. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax, lots of history. Keep building it. Put Nia Jax over. Boom. Head into SummerSlam as a threat. I think Bayley's going to win this. My prediction for the women's one. I think Bayley's going to win it. She hasn't won it yet. She can then win it. Head over to WrestleMania. Challenge Io Sky for the World Championship. The Women's Championship. That's my prediction. Surprises, you're going to get your usuals, your Lita, your Trish Stratus, your Tori Wilson. You're going to get them. And it's going to be fun. It usually is fun. It's the Royal Rumble. Every Royal Rumble match is always fun. But yeah, my prediction, I'm going with Bayley. I think that's a safe one. I wouldn't be surprised if Lynch won. Lynch versus Rhea Ripley is something that intrigues me. Jax versus Ripley. Again, something that could be done. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to go with my prediction on this one. I think this one is one of the easiest ones to predict out of the lot, and I'm going to go with Bayley. Watch me be wrong on all these. But thank you guys so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. Apologies about my cat interrupting there. With that in mind, this has been LK from the SOS WrestleTalk. Like, comment, smash that subscribe button. If listening to on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to it, hit the follow. Leave us a 5 stars. Cost you nothing. I'm on Twitter at LK Wrestling. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.